What if I told you that almost everything you believe about learning is a lie? That grinding away for more hours, that sheer dedication and hustle, isn't actually the secret to mastering a skill? You've probably felt that deep frustration. You pour hours into studying. You dedicate weekends to a new project only to see someone else who seems to put in half the effort just soar past you. It's enough to make you think you just weren't born with the right talent. Well, I'm here to tell you, that talent is one of the most overrated concepts out there. The fundamental difference between those who learn at lightning speed and those who take forever is not in their DNA, but in their method. It's a paradox, right? How can less time possibly equal better results? Let me tell you about two pianists. One practices for 6 exhausting hours a day, mindlessly repeating scales. The other practices for just 90 minutes, but in a way that is intensely challenging and strategic. Who do you think becomes the master? It's the second one, and frankly, it's not even a fair fight. This isn't just a fun little theory, it's hard science. Your brain isn't a sponge designed to passively absorb information. It's a dynamic network designed to physically grow and build new connections, but only when it's properly challenged. The secret to learning exponentially faster isn't about more effort, but about smarter effort. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you the correct user manual for your brain, allowing you to reprogram the way you learn forever. All right, let's get one thing straight right off the bat. If you've been led to believe that real learning should feel easy, like you're just soaking up information, you've been sold a faulty bill of goods. We're conditioned to hunt for the path of least resistance, the quickest summary, the simplest explanation. But here's the twist. Your brain is actually wired to grow through challenge. That friction, that moment where you have to pause and really grapple with an idea, that's not a bug in the system. It's the main feature of how you build lasting knowledge. This whole thing is backed by a powerful idea called the generation effect, and it's a total game changer. Think about it like this. Reading a pre-made summary on photosynthesis is like looking at a postcard of a mountain. You see it, but you don't know it. Now, trying to draw that mountain from memory or explain the climb to a friend, that's when you're actively generating the knowledge. You're forcing your brain to work, to connect the dots, and that effort is exactly what tells your neurons, hey, this is important, save this. I learned this the hard way trying to understand stock market charts. I'd watch hours of videos and nothing would stick. Then I started grabbing a piece of paper and trying to replicate the patterns and explain to myself, out loud, why a certain stock was moving. It felt awkward for sure, but that act of producing, not just consuming, was the key. So try this. The next time you learn something, try to teach it to a rubber duck on your desk. Seriously, the act of verbalizing it will expose the gaps in your understanding instantly. So, embracing this initial struggle is the secret sauce. It might feel like you're moving slower at first, and that's perfectly fine. It's a clear sign that you're building a solid foundation, not just a house of cards. But here's the thing. You can't just bang your head against any random wall and hope for the best. There's a very specific, almost magical zone of difficulty where this effort pays off exponentially. A place just on the edge of your current abilities. So, about that magical place I mentioned, think of your skills as existing in one of 3 zones. First, you've got the comfort zone. It's familiar, it's safe, and guess what? Absolutely nothing new grows there. On the complete opposite end is the panic zone, where a task is so impossibly difficult that you just shut down from overwhelm. But right there in the middle, that's the Goldilocks spot, the growth zone. It's where you are stretching yourself, but not to the point of snapping. This is where accelerated learning lives. This growth zone is where your brain literally forges new connections called synapses at a mind-blowing rate. It's the mental equivalent of a muscle getting those micro tears during a workout that allow it to rebuild stronger. For example, if you're learning to play the guitar, the comfort zone is strumming the 3 chords you've already mastered. The panic zone is attempting a complex Van Halen solo on day 1. But the growth zone, that's tackling a new song with a tricky chord change that challenges your fingers just enough. That's the sweet sting of progress. Now here's a core belief that separates the rapid learners from everyone else. Inside this growth zone, failure isn't just an option, it's a feature. This is what we call productive failure. Every single time you make an intelligent mistake, when you try something just beyond your reach and don't quite get it, you create what I call cognitive hooks. You're essentially creating a little mental vacuum, a gap that your brain desperately wants to fill. This makes the correct information stick like glue when you find it. Consistently operating in this territory, where you're getting things right maybe 60–80% of the time, is the secret to mastery. You learn to fall in love with the feeling of, I don't know this much yet. But let's be real, you can't just live in this zone by pure grit. That's a recipe for burnout. To navigate this delicate space efficiently and turn that effort into real skill, you need a specific set of tools, a kind of mental toolkit for your journey. Alright, so you're in the growth zone and you're not afraid to fail productively. Now let's open up that mental toolkit. The first tool is repetition. But please, forget the brute force, mind-numbing repetition you were forced to do in school. We're talking about intelligent spaced repetition. Your brain is designed to forget things. It's a feature, not a bug, to prevent overload. The secret is to review new information at the perfect interval, just as you're on the cusp of forgetting it. It's like reinforcing a pillar right before it starts to wobble. So, how does this look in practice? Simple. After you learn a new concept, don't just move on. Make a deliberate effort to actively recall it from memory. About an hour later, then again the next day, and then a week later. The key here is active recall, not passive rereading. For this, digital flashcard apps like Anki or Quizlet are absolute gold because they automate the schedule for you based on your performance. This isn't about more time, it's about perfect timing. The second tool in your kit is non-negotiable, absolute, unwavering focus. Let's shatter a myth right now. Multitasking is a lie. Your brain can't do it. What it actually does is switch tasks rapidly, and with every single switch you lose cognitive performance and momentum. So I challenge you to practice what I call progressive micro-focus. Start with just 20 minutes of pure, uninterrupted concentration. Phone off, notifications silenced. When the timer dings, take a real break. You're not just working, you're training your brain's ability to concentrate. Ultimately, these tools, the active struggle, navigating the growth zone, smart repetition, and deep focus, are all guiding you toward one ultimate destination, the state of flow. You know this feeling. It's that magical state of complete immersion in a task where time melts away, your self-consciousness vanishes, and you perform at your peak effortlessly. It happens when a high challenge is met with your high skill. When you master these individual components, you stop just trying to learn and start operating a system for true mastery. So there you have it. There is no magic pill for learning without effort, but there is absolutely a system for applying intelligent effort. The struggles you've had in the past were never a sign of your limits or a lack of talent. It was simply the result of using a broken strategy. You've been trying to fly a plane using the instruction manual for a car. Now you have the right manual, one that works with your brain's natural wiring, not against it. The question is no longer if you can learn that new language, that instrument, or that high-income skill. The only question left is, what are you going to master first? Think about it. What is one skill that, if you could acquire it, would completely transform your life in the next 6 months? Are you going to let this be just another interesting video, another temporary shot of motivation? Or is today the day you stop being a passive spectator and start becoming the architect of your own mind? I want you to make a commitment right now. What is the #1 skill you will apply this new system to? Go down to the comments and declare it. Writing it down is the first step to making it real. And finally, if you are truly serious about this journey and want to continue receiving knowledge that respects your intelligence, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. The learning has just begun.